the Lord was showing me something with Moses in Numbers chapter 11. I want to share with you. Moses was a prophet of God, right? And he was this great leader that God had, chosen, right, to lead his people Israel out of Egypt. But, as we see, you'll see if you follow his story, right, is that he needed help eventually. So there was these 70 elders, right, that were appointed. And there was this moment in Numbers chapter 11 where it says they were at the tabernacle and God's spirit basically came upon them and they all started prophesying. And then the Bible details in the chapter that after that moment, that never happened again. They never prophesied again, right? Then it goes on to say there is these two other guys, which now I can't remember their names, but you'll see when you go into Numbers 11. But there was these two other men that, and the Bible is specific to say that they were not at the tabernacle. So it says that they were elders, they were numbered amongst the elders, but they weren't specifically at this tabernacle where this event had happened, where God's spirit came upon the elders in the tabernacle. This is like men that weren't even there. And the Bible says that the Spirit of God came upon them and they started prophesying in the camp. And so what happened next was some people in the camp noticed that, hey, these other people who are not Moses, who are prophesying, and they went to run and tattletale to Moses, even including Joshua. It says was going to Moses Moses, make them stop, they're prophesying and doing all this stuff, they were trying to shut it down. And what's so interesting is what Moses's response was. He says, are you jealous for my sake? He's like, why are you being jealous for me? And then Moses says this. He says, I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets. Now, that really stuck out to me because the attitude that you see of a lot of leaders in church nowadays is, and it's because people are so broken, they're so insecure, they're dealing with so much rejection or the spirit of rejection and they need healing, that they use their titles and their positions, as leaders to be a means to kind of compensate for that or to make themselves feel special and good. It's interesting to me that that's the attitude you can see a lot in churches, is where it's they don't want anybody else to take the spotlight. They don't want anybody else to be recognized. They need to be the superstar. They need to be the prophet of the house. They need to be, this, this special role. It was a video I saw, I think it was on Marcus Rogers' page. He had a compilation clip of all these crazy happenings in church. And this man got mad at this woman for praying too loud, because he's you're supposed to be hearing me the most because I'm the minister here. You see these attitudes in the church, right? And yet here you have Moses, who we recognize as a father in the faith. He is a prophet of God. We highly regard him. And when he was told about, hey, other people are out here prophesying and doing what you do, he was okay. He's I wish that everybody was a prophet. I wish that God was just pouring out his spirit on everybody like this. Moses's heart was aligned with the heart of God, because then what did God say in Joel? He says that in the last days he was going to pour out his spirit upon all flesh. So it was always the desire of God that his spirit be poured out among all, and that all his people would be able to prophesy. Now, I'm not of the camp, I don't believe that everybody is a prophet or anything like that, but there's a heart of God that, he wanted his spirit to be poured out upon all people. He wanted all his people to be able to experience him in that way, all his people to be prophesying, right? That is made clear in the word. That's why even Apostle Paul says that we should earnestly desire, right, to prophesy. I'm just so amazed at how, you see there's this great leader like Moses, and you can see why God said he was the most humble man on all the earth. And it really shows, because he's one of the greats, the fathers of the faith, and yet he was not holding on so tightly where he needed to be recognized as the only special one, the only prophet of God, the only leader. He didn't have that attitude. He was man, I want everybody to prophesy. I want everybody to be, I wish that everybody was prophesying and speaking under the unction of the Spirit like that. So it's just crazy. It's such a contrast to a lot of the attitudes we see in church nowadays, where everybody wants to be the superstar, everybody wants to be the most anointed, they want to be the only one that is recognized as something, and it's just wicked, and it's not in alignment with the heart of God. God said he desires to pour out his spirit upon all flesh.